Okay. Well, why don't we start off by looking at a few phrases and idioms which have their origins in music and in musical instruments. So first of all, we've got this idiom here, to face the music. Can anyone help? What does that mean, to face the music? Any ideas?
Listen?
No, it's it doesn't mean literally face the music. It's a phrase, an idiom, a saying. So this means to confront a difficult situation. Okay, so if you say, Vanya, you didn't do your homework, now it's time to face the music. It means to own up to what you've done, to meet the consequences, to confront the situation.
Interesting.
To maybe you could say to look reality in the face. Okay. A broken record. What do we think?
Broken record. I heard we used to
maybe it's something terrible happened in your life and it's really difficult to repair. It's almost impossible, no?
Good idea, but no, that's not the meaning. No worries. So first of all, we can talk about a record that's broken in the fact that it keeps going round in a loop. Yeah, like we can, or if they play a song too often, like this Morgenstein or something like that, we say, oh, this is this goddamn zaezhенная пластинка again. Say the same thing. A broken record in English is you can say it about a person. Okay. For example, I keep telling everyone that they're going out of their minds. It's my favorite phrase. And Natasha can say, oh, you're such a broken record. You're going around in a loop. Or you can say, oh, for God's sake, change the record, would you?
Oh, that's good. We say that as well. I think we say it as well in Russian, like smini plastinka.
Change the plastinka.
Okay. Sounds interesting.
Well, thank you. Okay. Break a chord. What do we think?
I think it's something like, tell the truth, maybe.
I understand your logic, but it's not that. Also, this guy is not striking that is not a chord. What is he playing there? That's nothing. He's playing nothing.
Striking a chord, it's when you not get something right, but when you, how do you say, like resonate with someone.
Resonate is exactly correct, because that's what a chord does. It resonates. So it's kind of like the phrase touch a nerve, but this phrase has a positive meaning normally. So you can say, yeah, that film really struck a chord with me. It really touched me. It really resonated with me. I felt something for that film. You strike a chord. Okay. Jazz up. Igor, you're a fan of jazz. What do we think?
No ideas, but it's something similar. Sounds very familiar, but jazz up. No idea.
Any other ideas?
Maybe it's some kind of give yourself an energy.
It's maybe.
I think it's something, should be something good. No, I don't know. Really.
For example,
maybe to burn something. Maybe
your resume. What do we think that means?
To make it look better.
Yeah. So jazz up is the same as saying like sex up. To sex up your resume means to make it more sexy, to be
to make it more attractive.
Yeah. So jazz up means to modify, to do some tuning, to make it more attractive. Okay. Let's jazz up this resume. It's a bit boring. Okay. Doesn't have to be about you know, being economical with the truth. It could be about let's you know, jazz up this salad with some olives. Ooh, let's go crazy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's so cool.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Drum something into your head.
No ideas.
Learn something.
Yeah, learn something by repetition, or get something through your skull.
Dum, 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 dum.
Very good. Well done. Rock up. We can
Rock
jazz
up.
and we can rock up. Any ideas?
I tried to remember.
The picture is from a video of Thrift Shop.
Yes.
But that song doesn't actually have any relation to the meaning of this verb.
Okay, yeah. I just tried to remember.
To rock up, to appear somewhere. To
Appear. Correct. In what way?
in a cool way. Like wearing all the stuff you bought from a thrift shop.
Yeah. So,
Repeat this. What does it mean?
To arrive, like you could say maybe like a zaskocить somewhere, like yeah, this random guy just rocked up at the party, thought he was the king of everything. So
Заявляться.
these guys have just got dressed up at the thrift shop and they're going to rock up at the club.
Завалиться. Как это?
Yeah, that's a great, that's a much better translation. To arrive in a very noticeable, fashionable, let's say, way. Nice. Elevator music.
Great picture.
I wonder if they had elevator music in the Death Star. Have you seen the Family Guy adaptation of Star Wars when it's just in the background? It's like dun 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 dun, dun in the elevator music. It's quite funny. So elevator music is this umbrella term for this kind of nondescript background music. So if you go to like a supermarket, they might have some sort of, you know, bland, not noticeable music in the background. Okay, that's just called elevator music. This is also known as muzak, okay, or piped music. Muzak is this special type of music that if you imagine like a 1960s American shopping center, that kind of music they have on in the background, that's music. That's called muzak. Or have you ever played Sims, the computer game?
Yeah.
So when you open the menu to buy stuff,
so this is fun music.
Not necessarily fun. It's the type of music that piped, because they would pipe it in, play it through a pipe. Okay, so pipe music is like this background music you'd have in shops. Okay, so that's similar to, but not quite identical to elevator music. Elevator music is a type of music, but it's a wider term, meaning just some sort of bland, it could be like pop music on in the background, music that's in a supermarket, in your hairdresser, in a shopping center. Okay. Play by ear.
I always saw this one.
What's that? Play by ear.
So without using any notes, so just
yeah, that's what it means. That's what it literally means. It means to try and figure it out for yourself. Metaphorically, what might it mean?
That you are acting without any plan, or without maybe knowing exactly.
Rock and roll.
Yeah. Improvise. So let's say you're planning a picnic and you say, oh, it looks like rain, what do you think? So maybe it's going to rain, maybe not. Let's just get to the park and then we'll play it by ear. Okay, we'll see. If it rains, then we'll go to Isiaska.
That's cool. I didn't know we can use it like that.
To do something without a plan.
Sure, yeah, to improvise.
Mhm.
A great illustration from Monty Python. I'm sure you will recognize it. I don't like to blow my own trumpet, but what does it mean to blow one's own trumpet? It means to boast, brag.
What?
Really?
What?
Okay.
What?
Interesting.
Even with your explanation, I didn't understand.
So, boast, it means to say really good stuff about yourself.
Really good.
Classic.
Okay.
So, I don't want to blow my own trumpet, but I can cook a pretty good pasta.
Okay. Okay.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's the fun stuff. Let's look at some even more fun stuff. Music theory. In Russia, we use the do-re-mi system, and you can say that in English as well, but most likely people will understand what you're talking about. We talk about notes like this. C through D, as I'm sure you know. By the way, do we have any musical people here? Does anyone play a musical instrument?
No.
Actually, my brother have a piano.
Yes, he does. So he will appreciate this. So let's look at these things that we have on the notations here. Okay. So these two things here. If you know musical, do you know what these are called in Russian?
Типичный ключ.
Very good. And this one, басовый, yeah.
Типичный ключ.
So in English, it's called a clef, treble clef. This is called a treble clef, and this is called a bass clef. Got it?
Yeah. So the скрипичный ключ is treble clef, and what was the other one in Russian?
Басовый.
Басовый.
Is bass clef. Okay. I think we're okay so far. Accidentals. So this is not a hashtag, contrary to what you might think. Hashtag F. No, this is F sharp. Okay, so how do I say this note? This note happens to be an F, but it could be any note. It could be C sharp, B sharp. Okay, this one here is a flat. Okay, are you guys with me? Do you know what this represents?
Nope.
No? Okay. So, yeah, I'll ask Asha to show us.
Where are you taking us?
Поможешь?
Я же не все знаю.
Нет.
Даш, помоги хоть с тем, что знаешь. Мы вообще ничего не знаем.
So this is C.
Okay,
Yeah.
can we, how do we show your screen? I mean, okay.
Yeah, I'll stop sharing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay. Thank you.
this is C, and this is D. Okay. This is C sharp. Got it? So it's the black notes.
Okay.
Black notes matter. So this is D. Once again,
Terrible.
this is D flat. Got it? So D, this is D sharp. This is D flat. So this one you can call it, if you want, you can call it C sharp, or you can call it D flat. They're both the same thing.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Got it?
It's understandable, but it's hard.
Well, it's just so now, if someone asks you, you know, Vanya, you're a man of culture. Tell me, what's your favorite piece by Chopin? And then you might want to say, it's Nocturne in, you know, Do diez minor. Now you can say, oh my God, that ice cream truck is here every day. It's so annoying. Can you hear it?
So loud.
Yeah, it's definitely loud.
Is this the elevate music?
That's, yeah, it's good music. It's pipe music, exactly. So, where were we? So now you can say, that, you know, if my favorite thing to play is, you know, mi bemol minor, now you can say E flat. And how do we say minor, by the way?
Minor.
Very good. So it's major and minor. This is a major scale, and this is a minor scale.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't a very accurate representation, but yeah, that's it. Okay. Key. What do we mean when I say key? So when we say this in Russian, it's normally called like tonality.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Tonalность.
Ah.
Okay, so this is what I was talking about earlier with Chopin. This is actually my favorite Chopin piece. This is name of the piece is Nocturne, and what's the key? It's E flat major. So we know is do, re, mi. So that's mi. Flat is what's flat?
What is flat?
Bemol.
Oh my god.
Because mi bemol major is what that means. Got it?
But they didn't hurt me.
And what is sharp again?
Sharp diez.
And flat?
Bemol.
Bemol.
Got it?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Okay. Now, these terms are not only about music, but also important in, for example...
So may I ask a question?
Please.
Sorry. Key. When you say key, is it like, what are the sets of... oh my God, this is so difficult. So the the sets of keys on the piano, for example, the notes, they are repeated, right? Every certain amount of keys. Or how do I explain it? Oh my God.
So you're asking about it's the notes start with C and end in D. Yes, you are correct. So on a piano, the notes, or just in general, the notes start with C, and it goes up the scale: C, D sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, and then back to C.
Yeah.
That interval from C to C is called, and you'll know this term, an octave.
Oh, yeah.
Got it?
Sure. And key is a different thing. And what is it then? How do you...
So key is what's called, so tonalist is how well notes will go together. Okay, so for example, if I was going to play Johnny Cash, okay, I would play it in the key of E. Okay, so I'd start off with an E major, then I'd go to A7, and then a B7. Those notes, E, A, and B, they are all in this particular key of E. Okay, so it goes, and I can play them in any order, and they all sound like they're all part of the same motif. But if I just throw in some random chord, if I throw in, let's say I play a C, then it just sounds stupid. It completely throws you off track. Okay, so that's what key is.
Off key.
It's off key, you can say, yeah. Now, these lines here, I wanted to draw your attention to, because Vanya, I think you wanted to say this earlier. You wanted to say when the music gets louder and maybe quicker, okay? That is represented by this triangle shape here. What's that called? Do we know? I'm sure you will have heard the word crescendo.
I didn't hear it.
Crescendo, no?
Yeah, it was, I want to say that word.
So Crescendo. And Igor, you will hopefully know this from your study of French. Can you figure out what does that word crescendo originally mean? It sounds a bit, it's an Italian word, of course, but it sounds like a French word as well.
Sounds like footballer.
No ideas.
So crescendo, by the way, it's spelled C. I'll write it down in the chat for you. Spelled with an S. Oh no, I won't. I can't use the chat in PowerPoint. I always forget that. But yeah, it's spelled crescendo with a C. So that it means growing. Okay. The French word for growing is crescer, which is where we get the French word croissant, which means croissant, of course, like the pastry, but it also means a crescent, like a moon. Yeah. So you've got a full moon, a half moon, and a crescent moon. The word crescent in English is the same thing, as is the word increase. Increase means grow. Okay? Crescent means growing. Croissant is either a crescent or a pastry. So this word crescendo is simply the Italian version of that. It means getting louder. Okay, and the opposite, if you're interested, of a crescendo is this thing here. That's called a diminuendo. Okay, if you really wanted to show off and really wanted to be sophisticated, you can certainly use these in your everyday speech. You can do that.